Distinguished dignitaries, dear colleagues, dear virtual participants in this conference. All of us together, we are travelers on this spaceship Earth, and all of us gathered here today on the waves of the ether, we are thinking of a better world and of leadership that could lead us there. We have the United Nations, it's now celebrating its 75th year. We have countless experts, great minds. We have the Sustainable Development Goals, which have been arrived at with a great deal of effort and deep thought about this content, and the goodwill of millions of people across the world who would like to participate. Yet we know very well that, yes, we find ourselves sometimes helpless, and our goodwill is not enough to change the world. Well, I would say that the march forward of civilizations and of societies has always been step by step. Dr. Jacobs has just suggested that that's too slow, that we should sort of increase our pace and march rather more strongly. The danger for us is, as the Canadian writer pointed out in an amusing image, if you want to quick action, you want great investment in doing something. He had this phrase about a hero. He ran out of the house and jumped on his horse and rode off in all directions. The organizations that are participating in our meeting here today, we are all riding in our own direction, and yet at the same time, we are guided by an ultimate goal, which is the betterment of society and the betterment of humanity. What is holding back this process? We know very well. It is the entrenched self-interests of those who have power, either of position or of money, or of whatever kind. And it is also the inertia of the majority of our populations who are so engrossed in surviving, who are so engrossed in their day-to-day affairs, that they are indifferent to what is happening beyond their own borders, beyond their own threshold of their own house. It is the task of those who have ideas to make sure that those who are indifferent, those who are not actively participating in changing the situation in the world, that they should not sink into despair and depression because they feel powerless, they feel left behind. We should mobilize as many of our general population as we can to have a sense of empowerment, to have a sense of entitlement, to have a sense of belonging to a whole of which they are a part and which gives them the inherent right that they do not have to earn or they don't have to buy, as human beings, to be respected and to be allowed the same opportunities as anybody else. That message has been, of course, with us for a couple of millennia. It is being repeated and is being repeated by the organizations here represented and others beyond them. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to each of us in our own personal lives, in the contacts that we have, continue to embody that conviction that every human being is of equal worth as any other. And that the organizations of which we are part or which we have the honor of leading, that these organizations spread the message of hope, of empowerment, and of human destiny, something that we have all of us in common, that we all have a right to participate in, a future that belongs to everybody, the young and the old and the in-between, the rich and the poor and the in-between, the powerful and the powerless, and all of us together. Let's hope that we will accelerate the pace